Is Joe Gacy about to become the new NXT champion? Oh my, oh lordy. We are back for another edition of the Mocha 2.0 WrestleTalk podcast, NXT 2.0 review. I am SP3. That is Mami Niengi's baby boy, Sat E. And today is a great day. Why, Sat?
Because it's your birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Sydney Paul III is now a year older. What? Nobody knew that was your name. So it's Sydney Poitier III. Sydney Monsoon III. He's now a year older.
That doesn't have a P in it, but
that's because your name gets taken when you take the vows of marriage.
I haven't done it yet. It's coming soon.
It's
so I'm officially soon. So I'm gonna take her name. That's what you're telling me. That I just have
don't
to
say it louder. I think she's accepted that she's taking your name. Don't give her ideas. Sa-E Nyangi. The E stands for extravaganza. Everyone in the chat, get ready because we're gonna do it. We're gonna sing him a happy birthday on cue. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, SP3. Happy birthday. Ow! To you.
Oh my God! I feel all sweaty. Oh my God! Is it hot in here? Did you hear that voice, ladies and gentlemen?
Happy birthday!
You see why he is baby making the Yangi out here in these streets with that voice? Oh my God! Luther Vandross, eat your heart out. Oh my goodness!
I make those boobalas. Yo, so yeah,
shout out. I got my fan on.
Listen, I appreciate you. SP3 is a big brother. He is like Forrest Gump. He's been to every wrestling event you can think of. He was there for it. Heck, he's marrying one of the founding members of Capital Wrestling, which would end up being Titan Sports. This guy's been it all. He has seen it all. And he also works very hard. The guy's got 2 kids, got a partner who basically cracks whip if you BS. And this guy got 10,000 podcasts. I don't know how you do it. I got 2 already, and I'm already. Do I have 2? I have to do stuff already, and I'm already tired. But I don't know how you do it.
He got a full-time job. He got a kid on the way.
Yes.
This man is hardworking. Don't listen to anything he's saying. But thank you, everyone who's wished me a happy birthday, whether it's on social media, whether it's in the chat. I see Mayor Painesville Dan with the happy birthday to you. Kevin, Anika, John. Thank you all. Zach, one of our members. Rob, I appreciate all of y'all showing love. It's been a great day. I've been feeling the love of the wrestling community. You guys are all great, and I'm glad you are here with us for the Mocha 2.0 NXT 2.0 review, because if you saw the thumbnail, if you saw the title, you know what you came for. They know what they came for, Sat.
No, and
it's my birthday.
It may be your birthday, but don't
sit here and take it, because we are starting off hot and heavy with some SP Gacy. Yeah. So, on last night's episode of NXT 2.0, our man Bron Breakker made his return after being lost in the wilderness last week after he was kidnapped by the Druids following his match with Joe Gacy. So Breakker walks out to the ring. He talks about the last time everyone saw him with Gacy and his Druids. He was in the wilderness, lost. He brings up Joe's offer to join him and says that, responds by telling Joe Gacy that he can kiss his booty. Bron says he should have finished the job because now he's coming to beat him unconscious. And then we heard the music. Love is blind. We're gonna see you on the other side. And Gacy says, "Hey, Bron," or should I say, "Hey, Bron, right here, Bron, right up here, right where you took your leap of faith. I'm not here to fight. Breakker interrupts and says that he doesn't trust him and challenges him to come to the ring. And Gacy responds with, why don't I come down to the ring? So predictable, Braun. But when when a man is consumed by his rage, he becomes predictable. And you have a long history of losing your temper, don't you, Braun? I can see. He can see because his eyes are always like this.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can see.
see the fire burning in your eyes,
Mm.
envisioning the violence that you want to cause. But our journey together is not yet over. You've rejected an opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime to join me. But I'm not the type of guy that holds a grudge. I'm going to give you and what all these people want. And that's me and you, one on one. The CWC, like Sadie Niangi sitting at home, start chanting, shut the hell up.
I was gonna do that, but I think I proved the point last week. So it's your birthday. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But it's time we up the stakes. After all, I roughed up your father. I disrespected your family's legacy. I played with your mind. I abducted you and left you, as you said, out all alone in the wilderness. By all means, Braun, you should kick my ass all over this arena. You should inflict pain on me like I've never felt before. You can, Braun. You can go crazy. You can lose control. But if you lose control, you lose your most prized possession. Because at NXT in your house, if you get disqualified, you'll lose the NXT Championship. So the question is, Braun, how bad do you want it? That's up to you. Braun responds with, you're on. And that ends that promo. But no. You thought it was over. Sat, was he in that hole? He's like, oh man, I got through that Joe Gacy segment. And then the end of the show came. And then the end of the show came, and out of nowhere, after our main event of the evening, Santos Escobar versus Tony D'Angelo, we once again see Joe Gacy with his druids outside this time. And Joe Gacy says, on our journey together, I've predicted your every step, your every move. Tonight, declining my offer, but accepting my match. We all know you have uncontrollable rage inside of you. You won't be able to control your anger next week or in your house. Your lack of control will deliver me full control of the NXT Championship, the brand, and the world. They do a whole pan out shot of Joe Gacy on a rooftop with him laughing maniacally as we go off air. And that has been another edition of SP Gacy. Love is blind. We're gonna see you on the other side. Sat, what did you think about the promo exchange between Joe Gacy and Bron Breakker, as well as the stipulation for NXT in your house, which will go down on June 4th in 3 weeks' time?
Okay. We actually get paid to actually talk about this, so I'm gonna be impartial, guys. I'm not gonna crap on it. So for me, the most fascinating thing is not the storyline. I'm like, who are the druids? Why is it grizzled young veterans? you know
I have
Because
a feeling it is too.
the height difference, especially this week, I was like, Zach, you're on the left. The other one with long hair, you're on the right. I was like, that's because of the young veterans, right? Because it hasn't been like Sean Ross Sapp or Dave Meltzer. No one's reported anything by GYV if they're gone or not. So I assume they return. But the only thing I'm cringing is Zach Gibson is such a good promo. I don't want him to adapt the same Scooby-Doo spooky promos as well, especially in that Scouse accent. He'd be like, I saw the light and it was good. Like, I don't want to hear any of that. But yeah, I think I think GYV underneath the mask, they're the Druids. They said it, Joe Gacy's gone cuckoo bonanza. They more or less spelled it out that he's lost his way. The question is, will he win the title? If there's any other booker, I'll probably say no. But this is Shawn Michaels, Booker of the Year. This man won't lay down for anyone. This man won't let anyone hold his pen the way he wants it. So what I'm trying to say is Shawn Michaels is unpredictable. It could be that Joe Gacy wins, but at the same time, you're building up guys like Von Wagner, because I feel like Von Wagner is waiting for that big stadium show to face Bron Breakker. Unless Vince McMahon wants Bron Breakker on the main roster, hey, that's the future, man. That's the future.
Yeah, that's a scary future. I'm enjoying Joe Gacy versus Bron Breakker.
You're enjoying it for your own selfish reason. You don't think about everyone else like myself who feel like the Joe Gacy has been butchered. This man had a character which was, already kind of polarizing, but they've gone full on Bray Wyatt towards the end of his first run when he was going up and down, creaking in that chair, just spouting off BS. And I just zone out when he talks, unfortunately. I like Joe Gacy. I like the stuff he did in CZW, some of the stuff he did in Evolve, even in the beginning stuff he did in NXT. But recently, they've just gone, even the spooky laughter, that goes to show you where we are right now. He's now full on Papa Shango wrestle crap mode. But yeah, rematch. We like storylines that expand, but I also feel like this storyline is the reason why people are crapping on NXT 2.0. Because before that, we had a little bit of goodwill, but since the whole Joe Gacy storyline, no one's taking us seriously anymore.
Oh man, people need to relax. It's showing more range in Bron Breakker's character, him having to, play off of someone who has this spooky cult leader meets Bray Wyatt's little brother persona. I'm enjoying it for what it is.
Are you no, but okay, let's be honest. Let's break it down, SP3. Are you really enjoying it, or are you just enjoying what you get out of it? Let's be honest.
Of course, it's all about my enjoyment, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I enjoy coming on here on a Wednesday and reciting this gibberish that they have given Joe Gacy, which he performs excellent. He performs it brilliantly, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever is writing this stuff, whether it's Michael Hickenbottom, whether it's one of the WWE writers, Joe Gacy performs this stuff top notch, top tier. Joe Gacy gets his character, he's into it, and he's delivering it well, in my opinion. He feels like he is one of the top heels in NXT. He's bringing out a different element into Bron Breakker's character. Bron Breakker, I would say Bron Breakker is the lesser of the two involved in this angle, because he doesn't really know how to respond to this, because it's totally a 180 from the Bron Breakker we've been presented for the past 8 months. So I understand that part of it. So if people are down on it because Bron Breakker hasn't been living up to this storyline, then I totally get you. But Joe Gacy, he gets an A+ as far as I'm concerned.
You're saying that Bron Breakker is getting lost in the sauce. It's not Bron Breakker's fault. He's used to like rivalries about the belt, who's the better man. When you put him in the spooky territory, that's out of his element. It's almost like watching Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to adapt in a spooky environment against the Predator, but Bron Breakker's not really doing it. He's doing his best with what's given to him. I know for a fact that after this feud, the goodwill that Bron Breakker used to have will go back once he feuds with someone that's more reality based.
Possibly, but what do you think about this whole stipulation?
Oh,
Could this stipulation lead to a Christian at Money in the Bank 2011, where where he spit in Randy Orton's face and Randy Orton kicked him below the belt because Randy couldn't control his anger? Do you think that Bron Breakker will be able to control his anger? I don't know if this was the right move, but it does give an element of this matchup at In Your House, the
true,
possibility
true.
that Joe Gacy can win and become the new champion, because I don't think anybody would have believed Joe Gacy just beating Bron Breakker, even with the help of the Grizzled Young Druids in his corner. I don't know if he would have done it any other way. I like the stipulation because it puts a seed of doubt that Joe Gacy can become the next NXT champion.
You said it yourself. I mean, the Christian Randy Orton feud is a great example, but also by the fact that since Bron Breakker's entire NXT story has been unpredictable. You think about it. When he first faced Tommaso Ciampa, we expected him to win, and he didn't.
Yes.
And then he went into that big stand and deliver show. We expected him to retain, and he didn't.
Well, we expected him to retain in the triple threat at Roadblock, and then he
And
lost to Ziggler.
yeah.
And then we expected it was just to have him have his big moment in front of the Dallas fans at Stand and Deliver, and then he lost there, and then they just randomly tossed it onto the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, if it's any other wrestler, I'll say no, the guy's gonna retain. But Bron Breakker's track record thus far is very bad, actually. If you think about it, he hasn't really done well in the big time occasions. So it's a bit worrying, and I'm a bit 50-50. But for now, I might say yes. It's designed to question, because if it was a random one-on-one or even a grudge match, a cage match, where they said keep your druids out, let's fight in a cage match, we'd be like, he's definitely winning. But by doing this stipulation, it's smart. It means that we don't know, and it adds a sense of drama that a match need. So yeah, good job.
I think the entire booking of Bron Breakker, I think that the reason why it's been so up and down is because we are getting main roster booking in NXT. This isn't the NXT of old where Finn Balor comes to NXT and he only loses once before he wins the NXT Championship, or Shinsuke Nakamura goes on an undefeated streak on his way to winning the NXT Championship. We are not living in that world anymore. We are living in a world where Bruce Pritchard has his fingerprints all over this NXT 2.0 kind of product, and that's why Bron Breakker hasn't gotten the Brock Lesnar push, hasn't gotten the Goldberg push. He's gotten a more of a push that WWE would do, where they're like, hey, we know you're a great prospect, but stop your breaks right here. We got to put the title on Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler going to draw more fans in Dallas, Texas as NXT champion than we think you will. Or stop your breaks right here. We don't want you to win the NXT championship just 5 weeks after you just started. They are booking it like the main roster. That's why a lot of people are down on the product right now, but it does make a world of sense why Bron Breakker has been booked this way. I wouldn't do it. I know Sat wouldn't do it that way, and I know a lot of you watching wouldn't have did it that way, but it does make a world of sense because of the company that we are watching. But we want to hear from all of you. Thank you, everyone who's joining us in the live chat. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. But just throw in some happy birthday wishes. Throw in your comments on NXT 2.0. Do you believe Joe Gacy will become the next NXT champion? Let us know with a Mocha Chat. WrestleTalk.com/support. You can send it there. We're going to shout you out, talk about your Mocha Chat as well. Sat, I know we got a few in the chamber. Let's get a couple in before we get to the show.
Let's get a couple in, guys. These are a couple of NXT related ones. I got Ek Nichols saying, quick aside, with the success of Murphy and the presumed future success of Steve Macklin, Wesley Blake is at risk of being wrestling's first ever double Genetti. Also, it was nice seeing SP3's Twitter tag to get a shout during the Men of the Year, also Match of the Year. In my humble opinion, Josh versus Ishii, Mocha for life.
Yes. True Hill Heat got our shown on screen at Impact Wrestling Under Siege when Josh Alexander was going one-on-one with Tomohiro Ishii. That was great. People need to put some respect and some love on Impact Wrestling. So I enjoy that Mocha Chat a lot. Thank you for that one.
Okay, the next one is from the same person, Ek Nichols, saying, aspiring tag team wrestlers, don't call yourself Wes or Wesley. Your stablemate will probably do or say something ill-advised, tone deaf, or controversial, and you will end up getting forgotten, son. A moment of silence for the Wes of the world.
That was so brilliant. That was great. Well done. Well done. Well done. There's something to that. Where there's smoke, there's fire. If you have that West name, be careful what your tag team partner says on social media. Pictures that they post like 10 years ago. Be careful for all of that. Check into all of that before you think you're going to have a successful tag team, especially in the WWE. But we're going to read a bunch more of your Mochachats, but send in some more. We want to hear from all of you. I want to hear the birthday love. WrestleTalk.com/support. It helps out the channel a lot and helps us as well here on our Mocha 2.0 review. But let's get into last night's episode of NXT 2.0. The show kicks off with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams coming down to the ring set, and Mello says that Solo needs to shut his mouth about I got next, because he says, nah, sucker, you got last. Trick says the North American title is coming back to where it belongs at In Your House in 3 weeks time, and Mello says he's the rightful A champion, and that's all it is, and that's all it's gonna be. Yes, we are the Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams of WrestleTalk Podcast YouTube channel. You heard it here first. Hashtag Mello and Trick, SP3 and Sat.
And I'll be doing a lot of stomps and some good drop kicks.
And he got a nice swing and neck breaker. He had it in this match here where they kicked off the show with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus Solo Sikoa and Cameron Grimes. The CWC is still not a fan of Cameron Grimes as they chanted Solo throughout his entire entrance. No respect on this man.
Can we talk briefly about the entrance? There was some pipe team cheers, right? There was some pipe team cheers.
Yes, there was.
There was some pipe team cheers. Because when Solo came out, that was a Solo chance. I believe that. But towards in the end, I heard that the sound sounded like an arena because the CWC is like in a warehouse, right? So that sound capacity does not go. And then when Cameron Grimes came out, the ambient sound, and then you can kind of hear there was like conflicting. Let's just say the sound didn't fit the space they were in, and also you hear some conflicting boos undertone with the cheers. So that was interesting that the CWC has been infected with piped in cheers like the main roster.
This is why I say this is the main roster's fingerprints is all over NXT 2.0, including the canned noise. Mello and Trick, they did a nice little double team at the beginning of this one where Trick kind of propelled Mello onto the second rope, and then he did a springboard crossbody on Grimes after isolating Solo during the commercial break. And when we came back, Grimes gets the hot tag. He comes in like a house of fire, hits a big crossbody. He sets up for the cave in, but Sikoa tags himself in. Sikoa and Grimes, they start arguing. So Trick and Mello take advantage of the argument for a few, but Solo hits a big Uranagi on Hayes. Grimes hits the cave in on Trick at the same time, while Solo hits the Uso splash for the win, beating the number one contender for the North American Championship at In Your House, the former North American champion, Carmelo Hayes. I thought that this was a really fun tag team match, though. Solo getting the big win over the number one contender does give him a cementing of him getting the next shot after In Your House. The post-match, the referee hands the North American title to Cameron Grimes, but Solo grabs it and says, I got next. He is like he's like one of those and one commercials. How many times he said I got next? Sat, what did you think about this opening?
Again, we're saying like Trick Williams, he added another move to his arsenal. He's been doing that neck breaker. I call it the Michael McGillicuddy neck breaker because Curtis Axel used to do it. Do that neck breaker. Drop kick. He's got a good drop kick. He leaped up. He caught the person in the face. That's a sign of a great drop kick if you can get someone's face. Yeah. I like Solo's Uranagi. It was very reminiscent of the person that he's named after, his real name. He was nicknamed Yokozuna after the late great Yokozuna. So he did a Uranagi like Yokozuna. Then he did the Solo splash. I like to call it Solo splash because he's solo. He's flying solo. He did a splash. And Carmelo Hayes, he's the king of the middle ropes. Because he does explosive clotheslines out of the ropes. The way he just, like the elevation, the velocity of his attack is incredible. Every time he jumps off the rope, I'm like, I can't wait to see what he does. It's just explosive. That guy, he's got everything you want in a future wrestler. But this is WWE. We may see it, but we don't know if the old guy will see it. But right now, Shawn Michaels, Book of the Year, is doing a great job with these guys in the ring. But Solo has got next. Cameron Grimes' reaction is not his fault. All it is indicating that his time in NXT should come to a close. After he loses the title, please put him in the main roster, because the main roster, especially SmackDown, is lacking in fresh competitors that can liven up the occasion. I would love to see Cameron Grimes and Sami Zayn. There's more dream matches, but just those two guys, they can feud for 6 months, and I'll be happy with that, because they got the same kind of sports entertainment that Vince McMahon likes. So I can't wait. Solo has got next. I can see Solo being NXT champion as well towards the end of the year, if he doesn't get poached during the draft, if there's another draft. But right now, I'm enjoying what's going on in the North American title scene. It's really good.
I feel like this whole matchup at In Your House is going to be great, because Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes have shown in the past. I believe they versed at Vengeance Day. They had a great match there. They kind of stole the show on that episode. They have good chemistry together, but this matchup just feels like a placeholder type of matchup for In Your House, because it seems like a foregone conclusion that Solo Sikoa is going to win this championship after In Your House.
I love the presentation from his entrance, like Death Rebel. They're weird in terms of history. They're a weird group or person, whoever they are, contingent, because they got a mixed bag of music. When they hit really good. Even songs with lyrics in it. They got some good songs with lyrics on it. One of the wrestlers, I think it was Kiana James, had a decent bop to her. She had a track that sounded something like from a DJ Khaled 2009 album or something like that. We the best, you know. But yeah, Solo Sikoa's entire presentation, I love it. His music, his aura. He's got the badass energy that you don't see much, especially out of his brothers. He's the youngest of the Usos, but I believe he can take both of them on in a handicap match for some reason.
Yeah, I think they gave him good advice. I know they did an interview this week where they said that they gave him the advice that you don't want to look like us. You kind of want to make your look different. So the blonde hair, his whole presentation as the street champion, he does feel like a guy that could be positioned as a future NXT champion, as a future main roster call up. But I think that his near future is going to see him win that North American championship.
Also, SP, if I may say, because I'm the king of pulling back the curtain. So his name is Solo. So what people don't know is his dad's name is Solofa Fatu. So Rikishi's real name is Solofa. So Solo is a double meaning. Yes, he's Solo, but also his dad's name is Solo as well. So there you go, guys. Just in case you're thinking, why is he called Solo Sikoa? Is it because he's by himself? Maybe, but his dad's also called Solofa Fatu Jr. Here we go. And the blonde hair, Rikishi. That's a little extra, nuggets.
The gems that you get from Sat. He says I'm the knowledgeable one, but he's got his knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Backstage, we go to Mackenzie, who interviews Pretty Deadly, who asks about them defending the NXT tag team titles against the Creed brothers at In Your House. That was announced on social media over the weekend. They feign concern, but then they start laughing at the thought of everyone being scared of the Creed brothers, because they beat them in their first match and became NXT tag team champions.
Yes,
Side play check. Elton
two
says,
tasty snacks.
Yes,
one meal deal.
Elton says they are two tasty snacks, one meal deal. The best line of the entire night, right there.
Because you're in the UK, you know what that means now, right? Because we do meal deals. We love doing meal deals. Go to a supermarket. There's a meal deal right there for you, SP. Because if you're in New York, you'll be like, I know the meal deal part, but what's they going with this? Yeah, it's a UK thing. We love our meal deals. You get right here, two tasty snacks, one meal deal called NXT 2.0, Mocha 2.0 review right here with us.
We're two tasty mocha snacks, one meal deal. we are not just Mellow and Trick of the WrestleTalk podcast YouTube channel. We are also the Mocha Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. We get a vignette of Thea Hale, who is 18 years old and recently signed to WWE. We see footage of her tryout, and she's still in high school, Sat, and is the first person to be signed before her high school graduation. And Thea is hyped to train while she is still attending college. I felt like this was kind of out of place and kind of out of nowhere on the show. In my opinion.
Maybe they wanted to warn Austin Theory that she's too old for him. Yeah, Thea Otea Hale. She's 18 years old. Her gimmick is she hasn't graduated from high school. She's thanking WWE. Thank you for hiring me. They're gonna pay for me to go to university until budget cuts come along. I don't know, but yeah, go Thea Otea. Congratulations,
Thea. You decide. You decide. You guys decided.
I think it's Thea. I think we do Taya, but yeah, Thea. Yeah, but
Thea.
yeah, she's too old for certain wrestlers.
Oh,
You know, in the Florida area.
He really had to get that one in, ladies and gentlemen. We get our first women's matchup of the night, and it's a women's breakout tournament first round matchup as Lash Legend goes one-on-one with Tatum Paxley. Paxley has a quick inset promo about Legend being the cockiest in the tournament. And then this matchup, it's a developmental matchup. That's the best I can say about this match. Lash works over Paxley's left leg, including a nice little standing stretch muffler submission. Paxley hits a standing twisting moonsault. She makes a third attempt at trying to get Lash up for an electric chair, like she was going for the one-wing angel, but can't because of the injured leg, and Legend hits her pump kick for the win. Like I said, it was kind of just a developmental match.
Wait, there was no one-wing angel. It was an electric chair. I wrote down Tatum Paxley.
I said we don't know what she was going for. She went for it 3 times.
She's gonna squat her. I wrote down Tatum Paxley seemed obsessed with being between Lash Legend's legs because the failed electric chair proved to be her undoing. You're right. There wasn't much to say, but both women did not embarrass themselves. The standout was actually Lash Legend because she's leaning more into being a host type wrestler. Because I think in the beginning they're trying to make her do too much, and they realized with her, she's got the charisma just to carry off the kickies and the punchies and the little backbreakers. But also, what I would like to see, my dream match or my dream entrance off is Lash Legend and Dr. Britt Baker, just having a point off. They both like to point when they come out. Because Lash Legend points, Britt Baker likes to point. I like to see them to have a point off, just point at stuff, point at each other, point at the audience, just point. That's what she does, just points.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you come here for Sat's brilliant analysis of points. We get Tony D and his crew backstage, Stacks and Two Dimes. They talk about tonight's main event with Santos Escobar, and they talk about some of the people they beat up back in the day. You remember Charlie back at the pizza shop? And Tony says that he's gonna beat Santos alone tonight, that he doesn't need his crew to back him up.
Can we let's stick with that. You know what? The Wish version of Big Vito, he sounded okay. He had the accent down. The other one sounded not sure of his words. He looks so out of place. It's like in Andy Datson to play a wise guy. It's not convincing. You know what I'm saying? That's what he looks like. He's so out of place. Imagine Andy Datson played a wise guy. Forget about it. That's how out of place it looks. The other guy, he's so unsure. But the Wish version of Vito, he's won me over a bit. He could talk more. The other one, yeah. You remember Memory of an Elephant? More like less charisma than Sophia Cromwell. Gosh.
I mean, at least they told the Wish version of Big Vito to get a tan, because he did not have that tan 3 weeks ago when he was introduced. Now he has it. Vic and Wade, they hype Clash at the Castle in Cardiff, Wales, and then they hype that NXT is returning to live events on June 10th, and we get a little vignette about that. Then we go backstage where Mackenzie is interviewing Duke Hudson. She asks what's going on with Duke now that he is a man on his own without his ex-girlfriend, Persia Parada. They don't mention her, of course, but he answers that no one can measure up to Duke Hudson. However, he is interrupted by Bron Breakker walking into the door as Bron went out to the crowd for that promo exchange that we started off the show with Joe Gacy. Don't worry, Sat, I won't go about that again. But that would lead to later on during the night. Bron Breakker was leaving the building. He's asked about Joe Gacy, challenging him and the stipulation for in your house. And then Duke Hudson interrupts him, feeling disrespected about interrupting his interview earlier in the night. And they set up a matchup for next week. So are you looking forward to Duke Hudson versus Bron Breakker next week?
Yes, I am. So the thing before I've had issues with Duke Hudson. Why have I had issues with him? Because we've heard reports that Vince McMahon's high on the guy. Since the moment they put him on the main roster briefly when he was managed by MVP and he was teaming up with Shane Thorne, Shane Hayes,
Wasn't he Adnan? Wasn't he like Verk or something like that? Or
yeah, Adnan Verk, Aiden Verk,
Aiden Verk?
Vink,
Yeah, Aiden
Vink,
Vink or something
yeah, because Adnan Verk was
was
the
the
name of the
commentator.
announcer that got his ass canned. So yeah, so Duke Hudson's been one of the guys that's been hyped up as someone that Vince sees potential in. So you'd think NXT 2.0, he'd be positioned well. You'd think, heck, he might even win the title early, maybe, or be one of the people to challenge Braun. Because even this matchup, you don't feel like Duke's a threat. Because Von Wagner's getting the push you'd think that Duke would get. Because Duke's got, he talks okay. They thought let's make him a character guy. I say talks okay. He hasn't really blown me away. He just doesn't blow his lines, and he seems quite comfortable talking. So yeah, Duke Hudson, he's got potential. I liked his fight with Gunter. There's more to him. He needs a presentation overhaul. They tried the whole cocky thing. Unfortunately, he's coming across as Wade Barrett 2.0. Wade Barrett went through so many character changes that his last one is what got him over in the end. So I hope he figures it out, or I could see him run around for the 24/7 title.
To be fair, although Wade Barrett, King Barrett and stuff like that didn't work out for him, he could always talk. I don't think Duke Hudson has that. I think Duke Hudson is better off with a replacement for Persia Parada, kind of doing the talking for him.
Mr.
Because
Stone, give him
Mr.
Mr.
Stone,
Stone.
hey, Mr. Stone can have all the big guys in NXT.
No,
Why
I'm
not?
saying because no offense, I still don't get the whole Sophia thing. I still feel like he's gonna get usurped. He's gonna get yeeted next himself. I feel like that's what it's gonna end. It's gonna end. He thinks, oh, I got the bag, I got the power. But it seems to me that Sophia Cromwell, whose gaze is worse than Medusa, who turns men into stone, like she's the one that's the true power behind Von Wagner. But we'll get to it in a bit. But
yes. First, we had backstage Indi Hartwell, the other half of the people that got left behind by Dexter Loomis and Persia Parada. She's backstage and she's cutting a promo, says that she's tired of feeling sorry for herself. It's sink or swim on what she does now. Indi challenges Mandy Rose and says Mandy thinks she's the measuring stick of NXT, but Hartwell is going to stick that stick up her booty hole.
Her dookie hole. That's what I wrote down. She's gonna shove it up her dookie hole. That's what she said. But yeah, Indi Hartwell flying solo. I want her to win the title, but unfortunately, I don't think she will. I think whoever wins the breakout tournament, if it's someone that we've seen for a while, they may win it. So I think it might be Nikita Lyons may end up being the person that wins the title.
I've been calling this since people didn't realize or know that Nikita Lyons was gonna be in this tournament. I called her being in the tournament, and I called her the one to win this tournament, and that's how they're gonna make sure she's the one that dethrones Mandy Rose, who just celebrated 200 days as NXT Women's Champion, which puts her, she just bypassed on this episode. She has went past Raquel Rodriguez for the sixth longest reign as NXT Women's Champion. So she's getting into rarefied air. She's about to, by the time we get to In Your House, I think she'll be pretty close or might eclipse Charlotte Flair's original run with the NXT Women's Championship. So Mandy Rose, put some respect on Mandy's name. We also go backstage where Mackenzie is interviewing Wes Lee this time. Lee talks about how Zion Quinn not being medically cleared for that matchup that they were supposed to have on this show. Wes is frustrated with the fact that Quinn is ducking him, and then Nathan Frazer steps up to accept the challenge. And I just put, this should be a banger, but unfortunately, I didn't see coming what was about to come on this matchup. But
no, you didn't. I did. When Nathan Frazer stared into the eyes of Medusa.
I'm talking about at this point when the match was first introduced. I did not see this coming because I put in my notes this should be a banger, but we will see.
But what's going on with Exion Quinn? I mean, he's always like, this has been an excuse for how many weeks that every time he's booked for a match, something. I hope there's nothing wrong with the guy. I know he lost his trunks, wearing trousers nowadays. Probably seems a bit depressed, giving people unsolicited advice. Exion, get well, dude. We miss you. We miss your, unsolicited advice on life. and things.
You nosy busybody Zion Quinn. Yes, get it together and get healthy. But hopefully it's not anything serious. But
Yeah.
we had our tag team contest that was built up last week. This was a rematch between the Viking Raiders and the Creed brothers, who came out this time with Roderick Strong and Damon Kemp. Viking Raiders come out and dominate early until Brodus tags in. He hits a great huge deadlift German suplex. Brodus knocks both Raiders to the floor and hits a cannonball dive off the top rope to the floor, which got that CWC crowd so into this matchup, but he barely touched them. He barely touched them and just went down to the
Did
floor.
you hear his feet? Did you hear that was his feet, guys? That was not his buttocks. That was not his spine. That was not even his head. That was his feet bouncing off the mat. Crack.
I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
That had to hurt. Brodus knocks both. Eric is actually isolated by Brodus and Julius until he tags into Ivar. He comes in for the comeback, but tags back in Eric while Julius tags in Brodus. Brodus has Eric in a fireman's carry, and then Julius hits a jumping knee into a spine buster for a 2 count. Some good double team moves from both teams here. Ivar hits a top rope world strongest slam for a 2 count, and then the Raiders are about to do a double team on Julius, and then he just goes Super Saiyan out of nowhere. He hits a German he hits a German suplex on Eric, does the Shelton Benjamin leap up to the top rope on Ivar, but he fights him off. He then goes for a big splash, Ivar, but he misses. Julius cradles him up, but Eric breaks it up. All 4 men face off and slug it out as the CWC is fully invested into this matchup, chanting for both teams. Damian Kemp gets on the apron and he distracts the referee so Roddy can come in to interfere once again to help the Creeds get the win. But Julius catches Roddy in midair on the flying knee, tosses him to the outside and says, "We don't need you, Roddy." And Raiders take advantage of the distraction. Ivar hits a spinning heel kick, and then the Raiders hit that double team H-bomb. Shout out to anyone who remembers the Harris brothers for the win, to get the win for the Viking Raiders. Post-match, Diamond Mine is arguing once again as they didn't want Roddy's help. And once again, he tried to get involved. And that was the reason why they took the loss in this one. I thought it was a good tag team bout with kind of a deflating finish with this, the finish with Roddy getting involved again. And I don't understand how on this show, 3 weeks away from NXT in your house, the 2 title matches that they have announced, they have beaten both number 1 contenders in this one episode. That was frustrating, but otherwise it was a good tag team match. What did you think?
You know how I was down on their last match? This is the match I wanted. A significant improvement. It was smash mouth. It was energetic. Both teams look well, especially the Creed brothers, because they're the one being built up. The Creeds look like beasts, like complete freaks of nature. Like I even like the fact that Ivar did a nice world strongest slam from the second rope. But then Julius lifting up Ivar into all the way to the middle turnbuckle, just showing you his power. But his hubris in character, his hubris got the best of him. If your coach wants to get involved, let him get involved. I just don't like the fact that he's putting his hands on his leader. If it was me, if I was Roddy, I'll ice both guys from my crew because they don't show him respect that he deserves. So in my head, where's this storyline going? Because the Creed brothers are not seasoned or experienced enough to ride off into the sunset by themselves. Yeah, they're over. So is it going to be a case of like someone like Kurt Angle or Shelton Benjamin's going to come and take over Diamond Mine? Because that's the only way I see it. Unless they got someone in the wings to come and debut to take over Diamond Mine, I don't know where this is going. Because without Malcolm Bivens, I don't know where the trajectory is of the storyline. It's quite confusing for me.
And once again, even with this man not having a job in this company, it proves me right that Malcolm Bivens is the real leader of Diamond Mine, because the Creeds have not listened to Roddy since Roddy officially took over this group. Like,
he was always the leader.
He's never been the leader.
He's always been the leader.
He's never
Malcolm
been the
is
leader.
his job to handle the money, to handle the group.
When was the last time this man won on television? When was the last time? It's not in this year. It's not in the year of our Lord 2022.
We're getting a tag team match with him, with a person with the worst win-loss record. I'm gonna like, you know what I'm saying? You know when something's telegraphed, you're gonna lose.
Give me this. Since Julia's been doing the leap up to the top rope, you, my boy Blue, called it. Shelton Benjamin with the creeds would be dope. Since they seem to be separating him from Cedric, and Cedric trying to join up with MVP and Omos, put Shelton Benjamin on NXT 2.0, something that we both said would be great like 2 months ago. Put him with the creeds. I would love that.
Me too, 110%. Shelton Benjamin will be a right fit, especially he'd be a big fish in a small pond. It will help to remind people how awesome he is. He'll probably get a lot more minutes in his matches, so that way you'd be like, oh, Shelton still got it. But yeah, I would like to see Shelton Benjamin back and put some respect on Shelton. He's a class of 2002 as well. He did well. I mean, he's one of the best wrestlers. Oh, because he never won a world title. Nah, he's still great. He still gives a gold standard. He still gave us the WrestleMania moments, the super kicks.
He's one. Him and Batista are the only two men to get 3 straight victories over Triple H.
Bingo. There you go. Put some respect on Shelton Benjamin.
And Shelton did it first. We go to Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma. Santos says that tonight it will be one-on-one between him and Tony D. Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde think that it won't be a singles match with Tony's crew getting involved. But Escobar has Elektra Lopez tell them that they don't let emotion get in the way of business. And Santos just looks at del Toro and Wilde and says, you know what to do. And we would find out what they know what to do later on in the main event. We then go backstage where Grayson Waller is getting ready for his matchup with Andre Chase. Tiffany Stratton is upset about not being included in the Breakout tournament. And I was just like, that's a good point. Why is she not in the Breakout tournament? Why is she not in the Breakout tournament? Why is Ivy Now not in the Breakout? Why Ivy Now is kind of more understandable because they are saving Ivy Now because she's going to be that beast that's a great challenger for Nikita Lyons when she becomes NXT Women's Champion. I understand keeping Ivy Now out of here, and she's too busy beating men in the Ivy Now challenge. But Tiffany Stratton, why is she not in this Breakout tournament, Sat?
Is it? And you know what? I want to say, isn't she the more established of the people that's featured in it? Didn't she not debut before Nikita Lyons? So she's been there for quite a bit. Her and Saray. Well, Saray existed before 2.0, so that's not a good example. I feel like Tiffany Stratton's been there a bit longer, so she doesn't need to break out because she's already won. She's beaten Saray, by the way, who's one of the best wrestlers in the world. You don't need to do a breakout tournament. You now usurp that. Not in a bad way, but as in a good way. She's more established now. You know, she's now in storylines that doesn't involve being in the ring. They trust her. They see something in her. Great. It's true. There's certain people in there. I don't think Nikita and Lash should be in it because I feel like Lash has been there for a bit. But wherever works for them, they need to add up some numbers, pump it up a bit. But yeah, I think Tiffany is a bit of a veteran compared to the new people who have come in now.
I like Lash Legend and Nikita Lyons being in this Breakout tournament because they just debuted this year. Like, at least you could say with Tiffany Stratton, she debuted in 2021. These are all girls that have debuted on NXT 2.0 in 2022.
Wait, Lash was she doing her show in 2021?
Maybe she was doing her show, but she didn't have her match until this year.
I meant in that regard.
Match.
In terms of the ring, I understand. If you talk about in the ring, you're 100% right. In terms of character establishment, I'm like, Lash should be acting like she owns the place. She kind of does, but not really. It's kind of like she got a talk show. Where's her crew? I feel like she needs a crew that's beside her. She had a few people in the audience. Well, doing her show.
You know what that's going to lead to. That's going to be like, oh, they're just trying to do Jay Cargo in the baddies.
No, I was about I want Quincy. Was it that wrestler Quincy? His name's Quincy, right?
Should have Idris Anofe and Malik Blade.
Oh, they're funny. Oh,
they
in living color.
They are funny. We're going to get to that. But first we had our matchup between Grayson Waller and Andre Chase. And I say this every week, but it's bear repeating. How crazy is it how over Chase U is in the CWC? Like, they get the big pop when they come out. They do the call and response with the stomps when he spells out Chase U. Like, they're just over. I did like Barrett on commentary calling Grayson Waller the arrogant Aussie. I know he said this before, but I like that as a nickname for him. When Chase makes his entrance, we also see that Saray in her school uniform is the flag bearer for Chase U. I like that touch as well. The finish comes down where Chase back body drops Waller to the outside onto Brody Haywood, which causes Andre to check on his star student with the distraction. Grayson does his ridiculous, running up the entrance ramp, rolling cutter into the ring for the win. This was a pretty decent match just for the fact how over Chase U is, and we know how over Grayson Waller is here.
I appreciate that Andre Chase did some old school offenses like Manhattan drops, Russian
Yeah.
leg sweeps, catapulting the opponent into the corner. That's old school. And the Chase U stomp, that was for me was chef's kiss. And Andre Chase, make no mistake about it, he'll be a welcome addition in the 24/7 scene. Imagine Tozawa and R-Truth doing night school at Chase U. And then as he's teaching them, he pins them and takes the time, runs away.
No,
That's a great introduction.
you need the backstory that Truth got all his certificates from going to Chase U.
Yes.
Going to Chase U night school.
Because I feel like even though I feel like NXT 2.0 with the zany characters they have, they are designing the 24/7 division quite nicely. Because there's a lot of wrestlers you look and you're like, you have to be honest with yourself. Not everyone can be world champion. Heck, not everyone can be intercontinental champion. But the 24/7 scene, they get a lot of TV time. There is like scheduled segments every week on Raw. And I feel like Andre Chase will be a welcome addition. He'll be great in it. His character work's tremendous. I can't wait to see. I'm hoping he makes it because you never know. Some of these characters, you never know. But I hope he makes it.
For what they're doing right now, Tiffany Stratton is another one. She would fit in nicely with the 24/7 division right now.
Agreed.
We go backstage where Toxic Attraction are in the Toxic Lounge. They're watching a WWE online exclusive where Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are talking trash about them. Mandy comes into the Toxic Lounge and is angry about what Indi Hartwell had to say. Gigi says there's not enough respect on Toxic Attraction's name, just like how I felt here. And Rose says it's going to start with Indi Hartwell, and that establishes that it's going to be Indi Hartwell versus Mandy Rose next week on NXT 2.0. Do you think that we're going to get more of an extension of this? Do you think this is going to be a one-off match? And we didn't have any type of interaction between Mandy Rose and Wendy Chu. Is that feud over, or you think that Wendy Chu is going to get involved next week?
Mei Ying's coming back. I'm kidding. I think you'd think that in the match with Indi Hartwell next week, that's when Wendy Chu comes at cost Mandy the title and Indi wins. But
well, it's not for the title. It's a non-title match.
It's not a title match. There you go. There you see. I was writing my notes, so I didn't pay attention. But yeah, Indi Hartwell wins just to set up for a title contender match or whatever. Yeah, I can see Indi winning and Wendy coming back and assisting in the victory. 8 months of dominance for Toxic Attraction. You put some respect on them. They've done a good job as a team. They've been built as a dominant team, so I respect them. And yeah, they've done what they need to do. Will Katana and Kaden win the title though? They should, because like they
should. We said this weeks ago when they had their last win after the Katana Chance name change, that they've been a tag team for so long. They are the logical people to dethrone Toxic Attraction for good here.
Or what we saw later, could it be another two budding friends challenging for the tag titles?
It could be them as well. Backstage, though, before we get to our next women's breakout tournament matchup, it's Diamond Mine is arguing. Strong says that with his help, he got them an NXT tag team title match at In Your House, but that doesn't satisfy the Creed to walk off away from him. Roddy has Damon Kemp says now is the time to have them watch tape of what just happened out there. So Damon Kemp walks off, and then Pretty Deadly, yes boy, they walk in and they come and talk trash to Roddy Strong. So Strong challenges the champions to face him and Kemp next week on NXT 2.0. I do like how NXT 2.0 is like the juxtaposition to like SmackDown and Raw that maybe we'll announce at best maybe one match for the following week. We get like the full lineup. It's like AEW Dynamite without Excalibur doing the quick run off of all of the matches before the main event. It's like AEW Dynamite in that they announce a lot of matches for the following week.
Yeah, I liked it as well, but a part of me would hope that Roddy would cave both guys' head in and win the match in quick succession, but that's not going to happen. He's going to lose again. This is why he wants out of his contract, because it's like the Chris Jericho effect. This is why Chris Jericho left WWE. If like my stock won't last for long if I continue to lose. Give him some big wins so it creates doubt. There's no doubt about it. Roderick Strong is teaming up with a guy with a worse win-loss record in him. And he's like, what, already? You know what I'm saying? Damon Kemp hasn't won hardly any, if any, matches. So I do not have faith in them winning the match next week. But good luck to them from trying.
Seems like it seems like a logical thing for Pretty Deadly is going to get the victory here pretty easily in this one because Kemp is just there to lose because Roddy Strong has lost enough in 2022. I don't remember the last time this man has gotten a victory, ladies and gentlemen.
Didn't you know win in the UK, guys? Someone in the chat.
Yeah, he did. He did beat Wolfgang, but
there you go.
I hear people. I hear y'all people in the UK don't even watch NXT UK, so.
Of course I don't watch it. Why would I watch it? Doesn't make sense. I didn't ask for it. That's one thing they try to pretend. We never asked for a WWE UK brand. We're fine with our scene until speaking up messed that up as well. But yeah, we didn't need NXT UK. They just sprung it on us. Please, I ain't gonna watch that.
He's like, no, not for me. We got our next women's breakout tournament first round matchup with Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James. I think Roxanne has new music this week. It sounded different from the week prior. So yeah, she's got new music. We get an inset promo from James who says that the numbers don't favor Perez because she's strategic and intelligent. Remember her intangibles, ladies and gentlemen. Perez goes for a crucifix bomb, but James reverses it into a backbreaker. The CWC is all behind Roxanne Perez, but they go with the "Let's Go Roxy" chance. So I appreciate them keeping to her indie name. James runs into the corner, but Perez catches her with the Code Rock for the win. I thought that this was another impressive showing by Roxanne Perez, who seems light years ahead of Kiana James and pretty much everyone in the NXT women's division. Like her arm drags are crisp. She's just so smooth in the ring, and she just seems like she is one of the best workers, man or female. Male or female in NXT 2.0.
Gosh darn it. Kiana James, an intern of York Foundation. She did not win. She did a good backbreaker and a good Boston Crab. I feel like if you're new in the game, doing submissions is the best way to slow the action down and also look like you're doing something. So Kiana James, she did okay. She did not embarrass herself. With some few more seasoning, she might become a player in a year or so. But yeah, it was a good match, but it was Roxanne's match. Is it called Cold Rock or Pop Rocks? Because that's what he said, Pop Rocks in the end. I think
he said that, but I'm going. If the CWC wants to say "Let's Go Roxy," I'm going with Code Rock. That was the name on the Indies. I'll call it that.
And I said Kiana James' theme song. It fit in on a DJ Khaled song like in 2009. You know, I can hear Ace Hood rapping over it. Same with Mello. Carmelo Hayes' tune sounds like Ace Hood from circa 2009 as well. So yeah, hip hop fans, that's for you. Anyone else? I'm chatting gibberish. Thank you.
Deep cuts. Backstage, we get Idris Enofe and Malik Blade, who are dressed as Santos Escobar and Tony D'Angelo and making fun of them. Stacks and Two Dimes interrupt them and challenge Enofe and Blade for next week. Yes, this did feel like an A Living Color or a Key and Peele sketch.
The Goombas want the smoke. I like the Mama Luke joke at the end because Wish Big Vito, he got to talk. See, I'm okay with Wish Big Vito. When he spoke, I was like, I can envision you. You look more like a Goomba now. But the other one, the Andy Datson of the group, my guy was not convincing at all. He's like, what was that? He says his lines and he's not sure of himself. Get this guy excommunicated. Put in my guy Fabian Eichner or something like that, because that guy's not doing it for me. But the Wish version of Big Vito, yeah, you're the Shawn Michaels of the group. The other one's is a bad Marty Jannetty.
He's already off to a great Marty Jannetty start or a Leaf Cassidy start. We then see Nathan Frazer making his way to the ring when he stops to stare at Sophia Cromwell, aka the Medusa of NXT 2.0. So you knew danger was ahead. Backstage, we also see Mackenzie is interviewing Roxanne Perez, but before she can answer Mackenzie's question, Cora Jade comes in to hug Roxanne. They admit that they have been friends for a long time. And then Elektra Lopez interrupts them. Lopez says that that Roxanne Perez is an overachiever who will lose to Lash Legend, and Jade is an underachiever who celebrates her loss as much as a win. And I was like, that was a great point. Thank you. Thank you.
Elektra Lopez, like in Legado, she's the second most frightening member of that group because she's exudes confidence and she seems like she gets the job done. What I liked about this whole segment, as SP3 mentioned, we got another match in ready for next week. They spelled it out for us. This was happening next week. And also what I liked is as well, the NXT 2.0 women's roster is stacked, baby. Look at those segments. That's no lie. It is stacked to the nines.
Even when they don't have like the 21 women, 23 women that they had over the last couple of weeks, they have these little segments where they're featuring the different women like Cora Jade, like Elektra Lopez. You had the Indi Hartwell little promo. You had Toxic Attraction in the Toxic Lounge. Like they highlight so many different women, even if they don't have matches. And they are, in my opinion, it's them and Impact Wrestling who treat their women the best. Like those two shows just feature so many women in so many different ways outside of matches.
Because Shawn Michaels is Booker of the Year. And I stand by that. Booker of the Year. I do my Shawn Michaels for you guys. HBK is Booker of the Year. That guy does not study any bookers. He just does things his own way. He doesn't even know Jim Cornette tutorial on how to book territories. He books it like the way he book it. With some politicking, boy.
Yes, and worth noting, like they said in that promo, Elektra Lopez will verse Alba Fire next week on NXT 2.0. Then we get Wes Lee going up against Nathan Frazer. And this got off to a good start. Even if the entrances, Frazer has this new entrance where like a bolt of lightning goes across the video board. And then it hits the entranceway. And then he comes from the smoke and he runs out. Like I was like, this is ridiculous, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The CWC is split in support for both guys. Lee snaps the ropes in Frazier's eyes. He was playing more of like the subtle heel in this matchup. He hits a plancha, but Nathan Frazer comes back with the suicide dive in response. Frazer goes for a superplex, but Lee reverses into a pinfall from the top rope for 2. Frazer goes for the Phoenix Splash, but West moves, and it leads to a double crossbody to put both men down. And then out of nowhere, Von Wagner comes out. He comes in and nails Frazer with a big boot to cause a DQ. And then post-match, Wes Lee tried to fight off Wagner, but he gets hit with the big boot. And then he gets yeeted, folks. He gets yeeted from the ring to the announce table, bouncing off the announce table. I was just like, ouch, damn. That was a bump. But they totally no-sold it in the next segment, but we'll get to that.
They did, but okay. People want me to say it. Okay, Michael Hickenbottom, Booker of the Year. So people hate the fact that I've gone back to using his stage name because HBK, he's quick on the block button. I don't want to look at me like, it's not my name. Okay, I'll do it again. Michael Hickenbottom, Booker of the Year. He heard you guys said push Wes Lee. Push Wes Lee. Guess what? Wes Lee got pushed right out of the ring into the announce table, guys. So this is what you guys wanted. He gave it to you. Nathan Frazer, the guy's got potential, but unfortunately, history has shown that guys like Evan Bourne and Adrian Neville, they have a good 6 weeks run, and then they start losing. Then us Ricochet, he's up and down at the moment. So I don't see Nathan Frazer becoming a big, huge superstar because unlike Bryan Danielson, Nathan Frazer doesn't seem to have the promo skills. He does the whole boy next door. Oh, I'm a bit confused. Oh, I'm laid back. Oh, I can't deal with this right now. Oh, this negativity is not for me. I'm going to run now. He does that really well. They're trying to establish that quirk about him, but I don't see him having a great main roster run. He would have great matches putting people over, but I don't see him being a championship caliber guy. You can say Seth Rollins till you're blue in the face. That's not going to change the fact that his main roster success, it might be being associated with Seth Rollins, maybe in the match or in the alliance.
He's very much Tyler Black. not Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had to go through some years in ROH before he got some charisma at the end of his run that he parlayed into a WWE run. But Tyler Black at the beginning, when he first came in as part of Age of the Fall, this is where Nathan Frazer is at. There's not much charisma there. There's not anything that screams out, character-wise that he can like translate to being a WWE superstar. But he's got talent in the ring, and that's what they're going to focus on.
And also, he's lasted longer than A-Kid. Where is A-Kid?
I have no idea where A-Kid is. Backstage, Nathan Frazer and Wes Lee are approached by Sanga the Thunder. He's still got a job, ladies and gentlemen. Saying for two men of their size, they don't deserve what Von Wagner did. Nathan tried to be an advocate for Sanga, but Wes Lee wasn't trying to have it. He felt disrespected by the two men of their size, caricatured by Sanga, and he challenges him, which Sanga the Thunder stands up, and he looks like he is about 3 feet taller than Wes Lee, and he accepts the challenge. So that's a match for next week. Bron Breakker versus Duke Hudson, Mandy Rose versus Indi Hartwell, Elektra Lopez versus Alba Fire. We know the entire lineup for next week, ladies and gentlemen. NXT 2.0 doing a good job at that, at least. But that led into the main event of the evening, Sat, which was Santos Escobar versus Tony D'Angelo. Tony D, he cuts off Escobar's suicide dive with a forearm to get control. He then puts on his hat, shows his arrogance. D'Angelo plays the heel in this match for the first part. During the commercial, Tony D cuts off a Hurricane Rana into a powerbomb, and then Santos makes his comeback with a drop kick. He hits the torpedo suicide dive, and then he starts working over Tony's arm, and he plays the heel and gets the heat. It was kind of strange how
I'll put that down as well. There was no clear babyface or heel. Both guys had a time dominating, and the other guy did heat spots, getting back into the match. So yeah, it was unique. Listen, Michael Hickenbottom, Book of the Year.
I guess that's how you book a heel versus heel matchup. Tony D makes his comeback. He hits like a couple of belly to bellies. Then he gives him the Santos a kiss on the cheek before the last belly to belly. Both men stand on the top rope, and Escobar hits an avalanche Hurricane Rana on Tony D. That was probably the best part of this matchup. D'Angelo goes for his crowbar, but it's not in the spot he usually leaves it. So Legado del Fantasma says, "Is this what you're looking for?" They have the crowbar. They're in the entranceway, so Tony D's crew comes out and fights them off with the referee distracted with that. We see that Escobar reaches under the apron. He gets brass knuckles. He knocks out Tony D, and he gets the win for the 1-2-3. I thought that this was a pretty good heel versus heel matchup. Both men trying to out-cheat the other, and Santos Escobar winning in the end kind of makes sense, but I don't think the feud is over just yet.
No, they're gonna do the big 6-man tag. It may have Tony D winning because I think Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma should go main roster. And I hope when NXT 2.0 goes on the road, the Legado chant stays, because I get chills when I hear it. When fans, they get the beat right, because sometimes some people struggle with beat. They got the beat right, they know the tenor, they know when to pause. Sometimes they go over the beat and still do it because they love it so much. But Legado, that chant is incredible. It fits the music so well. I'm happy Santos Escobar won, because that guy should be champion. That guy's money, his crew is money. He should be on the main roster, hopefully, after the draft. A group like Legado would add more to the tag team division, which is so depleted right now. He can do well in the United States title scene or intercontinental title scene, because Ricochet, he needs someone to fight. Santos Escobar could be that guy. Strap a rocket team like Carlito. First night on the show, give him the title. It was a good match, but like Cameron Grimes, I'm going to say over and over again, Santos Escobar has outgrown NXT.
100% agree with you. Legado del Fantasma in general has outgrown NXT 2.0. They should be on SmackDown. SmackDown is absolutely depleted when it comes to baby faces, when it comes to the roster overall, when it comes to the tag team division, the women's division, and Legado del Fantasma fixes a lot of those issues. Maybe they're not baby faces, which is SmackDown's biggest problem. They have no top baby faces after Drew McIntyre. That's why RK Bro is on there every week, but they fill in the hole in the tag tag team division. They give the Usos someone new to feud with. If they are going to continue being SmackDown tag team champions, Elektra Lopez can fill in some spots on the heel side of the women's division. So yeah, Legado del Fantasma, they just seem ready made for the main roster. But right now they're kind of being used to kind of establish Tony D and his new crew.
Hey, forget about it. Bada bing, bada boom, and all that
one
jazz.
of these, gabagoo. But yes, last call here for WrestleTalk.com/support. Let's hear those Mochachats, what you thought about NXT 2.0, any birthday wishes and whatnot. But yeah, NXT 2.0 this week was kind of a show. It was kind of a show. Nothing really stood out to me outside the Viking Raiders and Creed brothers as far as like in the ring, but it was kind of a maintenance show as far as like establishing what we're going to do with the breakout tournament in your house, establishing matches. The biggest nitpick that I have is why did Carmelo Hayes and the Creed brothers need to lose on this show when they're supposed to be the challengers for the North American and tag team titles?
Yeah, that's a bit orcs. But yeah, I'm going to start reading the chat. Mochachats, baby. We got Robzilla saying, back at it again with the Mocha boys. Here's some money in support of SP3's Joe Gacy impressions. Thank you.
The people love it, Sat. You might not love it, but the people love it.
That's okay. Like people say, there's different demographics that appeals for certain things. I'm not the demographic for what SP3 does. I'm just the face of the people that don't like it sometimes. So yeah, but you know what? To be honest, if you're having fun, that's for me the most important thing. I'm happy you're enjoying yourself because we're working together. This show, we like to have fun. We like to poke fun at things. If you like seriousness, go listen to the other ones or other places. Here we have fun. NXT 2.0 silly, so we're silly. Why would we be serious about people in their underwear choreographing, fake fights? Like that doesn't make sense. We're having fun. Wrestling's fun. I'm having fun. Anyway, next Mocha chat is VG time. He's like, I don't even watch 2.0 like that, but you guys are magic. Straight up hilarious. Thank you, VG. Thank you for appreciating us.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate that love. We try our best. We're just having a good time. I have fun talking to Sat in general, but especially when it's about a show like NXT 2.0 sometimes.
Listen, NXT 2.0 is actually better than SmackDown, so we didn't get Raw end of the deal. We got
that great. Is true because SmackDown is just boring sometimes. This last week's show was all right, but this show at least there is stuff to make fun of. Sometimes on SmackDown, there's not even stuff to make fun of. It's so boring.
Yeah, let's have fun, guys. And another one who likes to have fun. It's Bubba232. We know him as Bubba, aka Paul. He has been a member for 13 months in a row. The Membergs. Love the Mocha 2.0 shout out to the OG good eggs from Wrestling Daily.
Absolutely. We appreciate all the love, all the birthday wishes. You guys are the best. The Mochachats are always the best because we got the best community here on the WrestleTalk podcast YouTube channel.
Speaking of community, I like doing this. I made it a thing. This community wouldn't be where it is without these lovely mods. Guys, it's time for once again for the mod raw call. Shout out to tonight's mod, or today, depending where you are in the country. Mod brother Rob, I love you, man. Mod brother John, love you, man. Mod brother Bubba. Yes, I'm calling you by your government name. Bubba, we love you. Mod brother Brandon, we love you. And shout out to the mother of all mods, Mod Mother Jenna. We love you too. So voila. Thank you so much, guys. You help run and steer the ship. Without you guys, it would be a bit chaotic around here. So thank you so much, guys. I like giving you shout outs because you guys are the unsung hero here at WrestleTalk Podcast.
Absolutely. Bravo to all our mods. We appreciate y'all. We love all of y'all. But Sat, let's play our thumb war that we usually play for the May 17th, 2022 edition of NXT 2.0. Give it a thumbs up, A thumbs in the middle or thumbs down in 3, 2, 1. We are the bar.
We are the bar.
It's a thumbs in the middle type of show, folks. Like I said, it's a maintenance show, but it wasn't overtly bad. There wasn't anything that I would say was bad about the show, but it just filled in for the weeks leading into In Your House.
Yeah, it was a show. I did like I liked the opening tag team match. I liked the fact that we got a sense of what's happening next week. It seemed that they're not doing week to week booking. They have some sort of idea of what they want to get to in terms of the next show. The breakout tournament's great to get all these new women they have in their roster, seeing who can thrive and who can't, who needs a little bit more seasoning and so forth. So yeah, it's a work in progress, but I've got all the patience in the world because it's developmental at the end of the day. So NXT 2.0, we're still with you, man. Mocha boys are still with you.
We're still with you, Mr. Hickenbottom, and I can't wait for Nikita Lyons versus Roxanne Perez. It's going to be Nikita Lyons' best matchup, the best women's matchup since Io Shirai was a women's champion. I'm calling it right now. You heard it here first. But that's been our review for NXT 2.0. I want to thank Sat for the birthday love. Thank all of y'all in the live chat. Thank you for all the Mochachats showing us love here on the Mocha 2.0 review. Of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here on the WrestleTalk podcast YouTube channel. You got tomorrow the AEW Dynamite review with Ali and Luke. You got Friday the magazine show with Denise. You got on Saturday, you got Pete and a special guest. You will see. And is it you? Is it he? It is Sat E.
Could it be? I don't know. I'm bringing a child home. Maybe
he might be busy, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Reports that have it that Sat is busy this weekend randomly for some reason. Why is it reported before Saturday? I don't know why. Kind of like, why is Cesaro reported to be busy?
There will be a podcast though. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on this video. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about last night's NXT 2.0. This has been the Mocha 2.0 review with Mommy Niangi's baby boy Sat E, with the birthday boy SP3, and we will see you next Wednesday. We out, y'all.
Happy birthday, SP3, because we're out of time.